Today, I'm delighted to bring you once again to another segment of Daytona Beach Television. I am your host, the Reverend Dr. L. Ronald Durham, Community Relations Manager for the City Gorgeous, Daytona Beach, Florida. Today, my guest is Commissioner Stacy Cantu, and she represents Zone Number 4. We're here at the beautiful Pelican Bay Sports Club. As a matter of fact, if you belong to an organization and you're looking for a place to meet, let me tell you, they have renovated this place and it looks awesome. Welcome to Daytona Beach Television, Commissioner. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. I'm happy that you're here in Pelican Bay, my neighborhood.
There you go.
25 years.
Yes.
And he has done amazing with this
Facility is really awesome. It is really nice. And this is a great setting. It is hot outside. So thank you for bringing us inside to do this segment. So let's get started. There may be people who don't know who Commissioner Stacy Cantu is. So let's get started with you telling them a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've lived in Daytona Beach over 40 years. I'm married with 5 children.
Okay.
All my children are grown, so I have the time to do this job now. All in their 30s. Actually, today, my youngest just turned 32.
Oh, congratulations.
So she was born at Halifax Hospital. I have 13 grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
I'm come from a military family, a lot of veterans, and actually we have family members that are in active duty as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been very involved with the veterans in this community, and I love Daytona Beach.
Yes, you have been quite active since you lived here in Daytona Beach. I think in all of our city, sometimes there are places that you as a commissioner are particularly concerned about.
Yes.
Are there any areas of your zone that are a particular concern to you right now?
Absolutely.
That you want to really focus in on?
Absolutely is infrastructure.
Okay.
Everyone hears about LPGA. And it needs to be widened, but there's negotiations going on with the state and the county about trading out that road. The state has taken over the funds, so right now I represent the TPO, and they are in the process of the engineering and design. We had moved up the project, I believe, from 2031 to 2021, 2025,
Okay.
last March. We also were able to put $7 million in the right of way for that funding. And you still hear people say there's no money for construction. Well, the reason there's no money for construction, the state has to determine how much it's going to cost. So that's why you have to have the design.
Exactly.
So I'm thinking we're probably still looking at least another 3 or 4 years till we actually see something progress over there. The Dunn extension, we're going to need all those other roads, which the Dunn is a county road as well. I know I think it was actually the last commission meeting, they just funded for the design and engineering of the Dunn extension at the county level. And I know the city, state, and county are trying to work together. I know the city, we passed a project a while back called the INA, and it was allowed up to, I think, the development of 1,834 homes, which the density was lowered to 344, and they were going to pay up to the right of way. So we're all working together to try to get all this infrastructure. Another thing that's really a problem out in the LPGA area is phone cell connection. And I have been working very hard to get this cell tower, which it's in the works. Right now it's going to be at the fire station off the LPGA, and we're waiting for FAA clearance right now. But there is talk, so I know my residents are going to be happy. There's talk about having another one over there, over by the utility department over there.
Interesting. That is interesting. So let's switch gears. Those are some of the concerns, but on the positive side,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the July 15th meeting of the Daytona Beach Commission. We're happy and delighted to have each of you with us tonight. Madam Clerk, may we have a roll call?
Commissioner Reed. Commissioner Paris.
Here.
Commissioner Strickland.
Here.
Commissioner May.
Here.
Commissioner Cantu.
Here.
Commissioner Henry. Present. Mayor Derek L. Henry.
Here.
Honorable Mayor, Commissioners, Commissioner Reed had to travel for her job and she's asking to be excused. However, she may get on, but she's in a 3-hour difference. But she may get on, but she's asking to be excused and she will let us know if she's able to get on.
Move that we excuse Commissioner Reed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Doesn't say who motioned to. Okay, yeah, it is.
It was me,
Reed.
Cantu.
Reed would be doing the Pledge of Allegiance, so we'll ask Commissioner Henry to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we will ask Commissioner Strickland to do the invocation.
Heavenly Father, we just ask that you watch over and guide each and every one of us in this room and that are sitting up here on the dais to do what's best for the residents of this city. Help us to make decisions to move us forward and to make us attractive and prosperous as we possibly can be under the circumstances of the economy and what we have going on right now. We ask this in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll now move on to item number 4, which is approval of the minutes of the June 17, 2026 City Commission meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions or comments? All right, all those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those who are opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0, 6-0. Now move on to our agenda approval. If there are any changes, our city manager will address them.
Yes, Honorable Mayor, Commissioners, we're adding to item 6 presentations. The Vice President of Community Engagement for SMA Healthcare update requested by Commissioner May. Add to item 8K zone support funds to the consent agenda, $2,500 from Commissioner May to the V Foundation, Inc. Add addendum 8L to the consent agenda, redevelopment and neighborhood services, Madison Cove Senior Housing Apartment Complex loan request and waiver of fees for affordable housing development. That concludes the changes for the agenda.
I accept the set agenda with changes.
All right. All right. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
Okay, we're going to move on to item number 6, which is our presentations. Our first presentation is a proclamation to, is it Jazaria Chester, the 2026 FBC LEO Scholarship winner.
Is Ms. Chester here? Okay. We'll send the proclamation to her, but I will read it in abbreviation. This, in recognition of Jazaria Chester, 2026 FBC LEO Scholarship winner, the Florida Black Caucus of Local Elected Officials promotes academic excellence, civic awareness, and critical thinking through its annual statewide essay scholarship contest, engaging students in meaningful dialogue on the most effective and ethical ways students in society can use artificial intelligence. Whereas Jazaria Chester, an 11th grade student at Mainland High School, was selected as the first place winner for her exceptional and insightful essay, which demonstrates a strong understanding of artificial intelligence and emphasizes the importance of ethical, responsible, and forward-thinking use of emerging technologies. Now, therefore, I, Derek L. Henry, Mayor of the City of Daytona Beach, on behalf of the City Commission, do hereby recognize Jazaria Chester as the 2026 FBC LEO Scholarship winner.
And we'll make sure, our office will make sure that it gets. Okay. Going to move on to our next item, which was added this evening, the SMA healthcare update.
All right, thank you all so very much for having me here tonight. Commissioner May, thank you for the invitation. I do have a presentation that should pop up, and there it is. Fantastic. So my name is Tori Gentoli. I'm the Vice President of Community Engagement with SMA Healthcare, and I wanted to provide this update for you on our services here in Daytona Beach. All right, so before we get to that, I wanted to provide a quick history about how we became SMA Healthcare, because many of the folks in this room know us as either the ACT Corporation or as Stewart Marchman Center. I think that's a fair assessment. What a lot of folks don't realize is back in 2018, we changed our name to SMA. And I'll get us there quickly. So back in the 60s and 70s, all the way through the 80s and early 90s, we had the ACT Corporation and Stewart Marchman Center. ACT Corporation did all of the mental health treatment for the area, and Stewart Marchman Center, of course, did all of the drug treatment for the area. I was relaying a story to one of the constituents before this about how the crisis center out there on Red John used to be called Pine Grove. Before we merged, before the two companies merged, that was actually the site for the co-location of these two companies, right? So when you walked into the front lobby, on the left side of the lobby, you had the ACT Corporation front desk. And on the right side of the lobby, you had Stewart Marchman Centers. If a person walked in and they were having thoughts of taking their own life and they were intoxicated, where would they go? Let's say they'd go to the ACT Corporation desk first, right? They'd tell the person at the front desk their issue. The person at ACT would say, and please know, I'm not throwing any shade here, just saying how this was. The person at ACT would say, well, we can help you with the suicidal thought, but I'm sorry, we can't do detox for you. Talk to the gentleman over there at the Stewart Marchman Center desk, right? What do you think the person at the Stewart Marchman Center desk would say to this individual who's having both thoughts of suicide and needs detoxification? They would say, I'm sorry, we can help you with the detox, but we can't help you with the suicidal thought. Where would that person go? And this is really what necessitated this merger back in 2008. These services should not and cannot be bifurcated the way they were, right? So 2008, the companies merge, and we start to grow rapidly. I came on board in 2011. Shortly thereafter, we acquired Putnam St. John's Behavioral Health. In 2015, we acquired Windward Behavioral Health. That gave us our men's residential treatment program over in DeLand. In 2018, we added primary care. Right? We added primary care. So now we can treat both mental health issues, substance use issues, and health issues for individuals as well. And you can be a client for any of those services. You don't have to be a client for all of them. We serve the community as they present to us. In 2021, we acquired the centers out in Marion County, and now we have a 6-county footprint all the way from Citrus to Marion, Volusia, Flagler, Putnam, and St. John's. And of course, the rebranding took place in 2018 to reflect the fact that we now offer all types of healthcare, not just mental health and substance use treatment. So thank you for affording me the time for that. I wanted to make sure that everyone had a clear picture of how much we've grown, how much we've changed, and how we've positioned ourselves over time to better serve the community fully. So for our programs here in Daytona Beach, we have an entire continuum of care in Daytona. We have everything from outpatient to residential to primary care. We have our Cantley Outpatient Center over at 702 Ridgewood. We do see people on a walk-in basis for assessment there, and I'll get to those hours and times and days for the walk-ins later. We have our residential adolescent program in Beach House over on Tiger Bay Road. This is a residential program for youth that have substance use disorders. Beach House is a respite shelter that can be accessed by law enforcement, by DCF, for kids who can't stay at their homes. And then our primary care, of course, that's standard primary care for people's health concerns. That's over on Stadium Road. We have our outpatient center at 1220 Willis Avenue, and that's where we have all of our case management services, as well as our medication management services for psychiatric medication management. We have the Chet Bell Crisis Center out at 1150 Red John Drive. That is 24/7, 365 for any psychiatric emergencies or substance use emergencies, and that serves as a Baker Act and Marchman Act receiving facility for law enforcement, but of course we also take individuals on a voluntary basis. And then our corporate headquarters is a minute away at 150 Magnolia Avenue. So we have fiscal year data here from the previous fiscal year. We just wrapped up our fiscal year, this most recent one, on June 30th. We don't have those numbers yet. We're going to get those numbers all crunched hopefully in a month or two. I'll be glad to bring those back to you. So this data is a little bit lagging. But in that fiscal year, 2024 to 25, that would be July 1st of 24 to June 30th of 25, we had over 21,000 people that we gave services to in all of Volusia County. Number that we're very proud of. It's one of the highest totals we've ever had for this area. And you can see the breakdown there. There is a QR code there. If you want to use the QR code at a later time, you can access our website directly, and that will give you more detailed information on all of the programs. A bit about our funding. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. So any margin that we make gets delivered directly back into the operations of the company. In the time that I've been with the company, I think this fact alone is what's kept me here. We put our money back into client services. We renovate our buildings. A wonderful example of that is the renovation of the Chet Bell Crisis Center, which I'll get to in a little bit. We also put that money back into recruiting and retaining nurses and behavioral health techs, a lot of our frontline staff. You can see our breakdown here. Federal and state grants comprise about 60% of our funding. Revenue from our pharmacy, 14%. Local grants and contracts, 9%. Client fees and insurance. So even though we are a no wrong door provider and a safety net provider, providing care to everybody regardless of their ability to pay, we also do take insurance. So if a person has insurance, we can work with that insurance and bill it as well. We do get some compensation for Medicaid and then other income at 4%. Total revenues for Volusia County were $52 million for this fiscal year, and that represented about 54% of our total company revenues, which were right at about $98 million. $96 million in expenses for this fiscal year. That $2 million went right back to improve programs and to get our staff on board, keep them on board. So all that money goes right back in. We don't have any shareholders to compensate. One of the things I'm really proud of is our renovation of the Chet Bell Crisis Center. I was here at the Crisis Center from my beginnings with SMA back in 2011. And to be honest, you know, it looked and felt like a jail. It really did, just to be transparent. You walked in there, you thought you were in county lockup. Nothing but concrete block everywhere you turned your head, and it was painted blue. That's like a day in lockup, right? If you look at this picture on the screen, you can see on the left side, you see the splash wall with our logo. That used to be the Stuart Marchman Center's front desk. And the other window was the Act Corporation front desk that I was telling you about. So folks would bounce between those two windows and way too often leave before the merger, right? We fixed that problem. This renovation was huge. We removed that stigmatizing environment. We brought this up to a modern healthcare environment, eliminating that institutional look and feel, and really enhancing patient and staff safety as well. I'd love to arrange for tours of any and all of our programs here in Daytona Beach. So if you ever do want something like that, just reach out. Another very exciting development for us has been our psychiatry graduate medical education program. So you may or may not know this, but we have a shortage of psychiatrists in Florida. They're just around 2,000 for the entire state of Florida. We're one of the fastest growing states in the nation when it comes to population. Our area is no exception, right? So this is an amazing program. These are doctors coming in for a 4-year postgraduate residency. We just started our 2nd year of this program. We now have 20 residents total. And the whole point here is to recruit, train, and retain psychiatrists in our footprint, including Daytona Beach, and to build capability and capacity for future behavioral health programs. So at the very back of the Chet Bell Crisis Center, which used to look and feel like a jail, we now have a GME psychiatric program. And I could not be more proud of what we've done out there. Would love to give you a tour. We have free walk-in screenings. Here in Daytona Beach, there are 2 areas that a person can get a free walk-in screening. You can go to 702 Ridgewood, right down the street. That's walk-in Monday through Thursday. We start at 8 a.m. It's first come, first serve. We tell people to get there as quickly as possible. Totally free screening and assessment, and we'll connect you with the programs that are going to best help you out. Also, over at the Red John Drive location, that's the Chet Bell Crisis Center. That's 24/7, 365. We never close out there, not even during hurricanes. The staff out there shelter in place through those hurricanes. So you can go out there any day of the week, any time of the day. Again, free screening, free triage, free connection with what program is going to serve you the best. Please, please, please put this number in your phone. Okay, this is our 24/7 free helpline and mobile crisis response team. This is a phenomenal service. We have this program manned around the clock. Not only can we talk to a person over the phone, we can do a video chat with the individual, right? Any age, anywhere in Volusia or Flagler counties. We can even be to the person's location given an hour's time, right? It's an amazing, amazing service, and it's absolutely no charge for this. Even though we say we can take up to about an hour, right now I believe our average response time is about 30 minutes to get to that person's location. That's my update. That's all the services that we offer. I wanted to try to keep it short but sweet. My information is right up here. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. That includes the public. Also, I wanted to put in a little shameless plug for what I do with my role with the company. I do all kinds of mental health and substance use training. That can be anything from a 1 to 2 hour custom training based on an agency's needs. I'm also a certified mental health first aid trainer. That's a full day of mental health first aid training. So let me know how I can best serve you.
So I had a specific question. Let's say I had a resident who was homeless and they needed medication, and they had run out of their medication a while back, and they decided, you know what, I feel I want to get back on medication for whatever reason. Where would they go?
So if we have an individual that's in crisis, any type of a behavioral health crisis, needs detoxification, then the Chet Bell Crisis Center would be the appropriate location. They could walk in there 24/7 if they met the criteria. We could get them in, we could check them out, give them a full physical, give them an assessment, a behavioral health assessment, and get those scripts written for that individual. We don't operate any programs directly to serve the homeless that would provide them with a residency, but we work very closely with the First Step Shelter right across the street. We've worked closely with them for a very long time now. We do referrals back and forth between our 2 agencies.
And so if somebody just walked into your location on Ridgewood, you said they provide assessments. Assessments for what?
So it's an assessment to see if the individual is in need of any kind of behavioral health or substance use services. Okay. So it's a screening. We'll ask the person questions to see if they're experiencing depression, anxiety, substance use, any signs or symptoms of bipolar affective disorder, the whole gamut, to see if they would be a good match for the services through any of our programs.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
You're very, very welcome. I appreciate the opportunity to come and speak with you. Please let me know how I can be of service.
For the helpline and mobile crisis response team, have you partnered with our law enforcement or?
Yes, yeah, they have our number. And when I do trainings with Volusia County Sheriff's Office, Holly Hill PD, I'm just getting back on board with Daytona Beach PD. They've got this number and they can use this number. We do respond to law enforcement calling this line as well. And of course, they know they'll secure the scene first and we'll respond once that scene is secure.
And I see you had a very big number of total for all treatment services, 21,309 people.
Throughout Volusia County, yes, ma'am.
Volusia County. Do you know what percentage or how many were from Daytona Beach?
I don't have that, but I can get that for you. I absolutely can. We all of our demographics are basically they include a zip code, so we could just filter that by zip code, and I can get that number for you.
Okay. And another question I had: what do you think is one of the biggest challenges people have not keeping up with treatment?
To not keeping up with treatment, I would say a lot of it's transportation. You know, the Votran does head out to the crisis center, but it's infrequent, right? We have a brand new center on the west side, a brand new outpatient center on the west side. The Votran doesn't stop in front of that. I would say also, when it comes to continuing with the person's treatment plan, the thing about mental illnesses and substance use disorders is that the disorders themselves can get in the way of the person fully understanding that they need to stay connected to their aftercare plan. Unlike what we would consider to be normal, regular, everyday health conditions, there's nothing about my hypertension that gets in the way of me taking my lisinopril every morning. Nothing. But depression can get in the way. A person feels hopeless, helpless. Anxiety can get in the way. Psychosis can absolutely get in the way. If I'm worried, I feel different when I take these medications. You know what? I think my doctor might be trying to poison me. I'm going to stop taking these. I'm going to toss them out. That's a reality for people who have illnesses like schizophrenia, illnesses like schizoaffective disorder, even bipolar. So, it's I think a lot of it is the illness itself too. I think support, having family support, having a support system, whatever that looks like, is key, especially in situations when individuals are experiencing a mental health disorder that involves psychosis or that separation from reality. The good news here, when it comes to like medication compliance, is that there are now medications that can be given by long-acting injection, right? So if I have an illness like schizophrenia and I do well on my oral medication for 30, 60, 90 days, I could be a candidate for a shot once every 3 weeks, a long-acting injectable. That's a game changer because now all that my support system has to do is get me back to that outpatient appointment in 3 or 4 weeks' time. That's huge. That's huge.
And what about outreach programs? Do you have people that actually walk the streets?
We have outreach programs in the schools. We team up with the Volusia Recovery Alliance to do a lot of their street outreach. We also have here in Daytona our DART team, our drug abuse response team. And this is phenomenal. This is with the Daytona Beach Fire Department, paramedicine. Travis Anderson is the gentleman's name. And we have counselors that go out with that team. It's a really amazing way they've got this set up. So when somebody has a non-fatal overdose, we actually get the information about that and we meet that person bedside at the ED. We try to engage them in services right then and there at Halifax. Some folks say yes, some folks say no thank you, right? The DART team comes back around within 72 hours once that person is released to talk to them at their home and say, hey, we're still here if you need us. And it's amazing how often they're able to connect people at that point, right? Folks get back out from whence they came. They say, I'm in the same situation I was before. Things aren't going to change. So we don't let it sit. We don't let it end right there at the bedside, at the hospital. We go back out into the community and we try to re-engage that person. It's a wonderful program.
Thank you.
My question is with regard to medication. I know you don't provide medication, but do you have programs where if the medication is too costly, the person just they cannot afford the medication. They tend to parcel out or save medication or, try to make it last longer. Do you have any programs that help people get medication?
We do. We have a pharmacy service now. And the beauty of this, back in 2018, when we added primary care, we became a federally qualified health center, an FQHC. What that did for us was that allowed us to tap into what's called 340B pharmacy pricing. We're talking pennies on the dollar. We pass those savings directly on to the people that we serve. So medications that would cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars can cost only tens of dollars instead. It's 340B is the name of the program.
Is there a qualifying minimum you have to meet?
Yeah, we do. Take person's demographics. We have them look at the sliding scale. We calculate it based on their income and all of those things. Part of that free assessment that we do, we look at all of that stuff to see what the individual might qualify for.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
You're very
much.
welcome. Again, thank you all so very much for having me here. If there's anything I can do for you, just call.
I appreciate your time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, we're going to move on to item number 7. This is citizen comments. During this time, citizens have the opportunity to address the city commission on any item on the consent agenda. My first speaker is Katie Kay, and on deck is Sarah Metz.
Hello, my name is Katie Kay, and I'm the head coach. Excuse me, I'm congested. Head coach and president of the board for Volusia Swim Club. Been partnering with the city and city staff up until today, so I want to say thank you for those that I've spoken with and worked with. Keith and Terry in the Department of Recreation have been wonderful. We took over the contract from the USRP racers, and Rob, who had passed away at the beginning of this year, he and I were friends for years, so it's something that we had talked about and wanted to partner. And in such, we changed our name to Volusia Swim Club because we wanted to really partner with the county to help grow aquatics beyond what it is now. Both pools were very excited to be able to utilize both of those locations at Campbell and Cypress. I think we came to a pretty good contract negotiation. We had lots of people that helped us with that. And we'd like to be able to continue to partner with Cypress and Campbell to help grow programs in the community outside of what we already offer. So I just wanted to say thank you for continuing to work with us, allowing us to be in the pool and continuing that partnership that Rob and the racers had already established about 5 years ago now.
Thank you.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you.
Okay, our next speaker is Sarah Metz, and on deck is Lee, is it Swaco?
Hello, Sarah Metz, 444 Seabreeze Boulevard, Daytona Beach, and I'm also here to speak for Volusia Swim Club and to say thank you to the staff, Terry Johnson and Keith McClenny, who have gotten this contract before you on the consent agenda, to thank you, the commission, for keeping up Campbell and Cypress Aquatic. What a treasure in our community, not just for Volusia Swim Club, but for all of the people that I have seen utilizing those facilities, both for swim and for walking and engaging with each other. So thank you all for that. I hope to see that this passes on the consent agenda, and we keep aquatics here in Daytona Beach. I know a lot of people have had to move to Port Orange and to Ormond for aquatics, and that's just not something that I, as a Daytona Beach resident, want to see. So I thank you all for that, and I hope you will pass on consent agenda item 8C for Volusia Swim Club. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Lee Swaco, and on deck is John Nicholson.
Hello, thank you for having us here today. I'm going to wear two hats. First, I'm going to start as a swim parent and a Daytona Beach resident. My boys both swam for Coach Rob before he passed, and it really made their lives better in a million ways. And I agree with the last statement too. It's not just the pool, but it brings people to the pool. I have spent a lot of time walking around the path adjacent to Cypress Aquatic, which I love, while I was waiting for them to get out of swim. So I appreciate it. I'm very glad that we're moving forward with Volusia Club Swim. I'm glad that it's still at Cypress. I echo those sentiments that we need to have this in Daytona Beach, not just in Ormond and in Port Orange, especially as a Daytona resident. And then the second hat that I'm going to wear is as the president of Father Lopez. Cypress Aquatic is our home pool, and it's very important to me that it remains our home pool. I'd love if it was big enough, if you could expand it, if I could ask that now, if you could expand it so we could hold a meet there, which I don't think is happening. But it's so close to our old campus, if you knew where Father Lopez used to be, that I feel like having Father Lopez swim at Cypress draws us closer to our old school. And I just don't ever want our high school to have to swim anyplace else. So thank you very much for including Father Lopez on the sublease, to have that be our home pool again this year. And thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Okay, our next speaker is John Nicholson, and on deck is William Biddorf.
Welcome back, John. Missed you last week.
It's 4th of July, North Carolina. John Nicholson, 413 North Grandview Avenue. C, I, and J. With regard to Cypress Aquatic Center, for years I thought that the football programs that we had were paying to do what the city should be doing. Anytime that somebody comes in and voluntarily does a program for our students, I don't think we should charge them, all right? Because they're providing a service that we would have to provide and pay for. So when we had Pop Warner coming in and we charged them for the field, they had, I don't know, maybe 10 coaches and 400 kids that are our students, that are our children. And we asked them to pay for something that we should have been providing. So I know that you worked on this price and they're happy with it. But in the future, if somebody volunteers to provide a program to our children, I'm asking you to consider it as a gift to the community and not charge them. With regard to cost sharing, I know about 20 years ago we had a program when George Burton was here, and we replaced toilets with water-efficient toilets. I have not heard anything about that in the last 20 years or so. Is this the same program? If it is, we need to publicize it more, especially in the CRA areas. And under J, I don't understand why we do these adjustments. There should be, unless something unusual happens, there shouldn't be adjustments. So if they run into, let's say they're digging up a street and there's an old sewer system there that we didn't know was there, then I could understand an adjustment. But it sounds like they're extending the boundary for asphalt, which they should have known from the very beginning. So I ask that we look at this more carefully when we adjust. Thank you.
Our final speaker on the consent agenda is Mr. William Biddorf.
My name is William Biddorf. I live at 402 East International Speedway Boulevard. This is sort of a no-brainer. I know what you're going to vote for, but I wanted to thank you all for doing this. This is 8D, Police Department, U.S. Department of Justice Bulletproof Vest Program grant. Anything that we can do for the police department to be safer so those young men and women can come home in one piece, let's please do. I know that I trust all of y'all. I know education's important, but it just, as recently on a daily basis, they do keep us safe so we can sleep comfortably in our beds at night. And I sleep comfortably knowing that you all are my city commissioners and you're my mayor. So thank you, Mr. Mayor. And thank you also for helping me with multiple issues I had on East ISB on Beachside. And thank you, Mr. Strickland and Ms. Monica Paris, because she actually reached out to me by email, and I thank you. You all are very active in the community, and you're far more active, Mr. Henry, Mr. Mayor, than people give you credit for. And thank you, and God bless you.
God bless you.
That was our final speaker for the consent agenda.
Do we have a motion?
Accept the items on the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Do we have any additional commentary? All right, no other comments. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those who are opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
We're going to move on to item number 9, which is our public hearings and quasi-judicial hearings. Item 9A is a Growth Management Planning Department, all aboard storage, voluntary annexation. This is an ordinance on second reading public hearing. An ordinance annexing into the city of Daytona Beach 1.71 plus or minus acres of land generally located along the west side of South Nova Road, south of June Terrace and north of the Carriage Cove mobile home community, redefining the territorial boundaries of the city of Daytona Beach to include the property, redesignating the boundaries of Zone 1 of the city of Daytona Beach to include the property, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
And I have no speakers for this item, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, all those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
Okay, we'll move on to item 9B, which is the Growth Management Planning Department All Aboard Storage Small Scale Comprehensive Plan Amendment. This is an ordinance on second reading public hearing. An ordinance adopting a small scale comprehensive plan amendment in accordance with section 163.3187 of the Florida statutes with regard to 1.7 plus or minus acres of property generally located along the west side of South Nova Road, south of June Terrace, and north of Carriage Cove mobile home community, amending the future land use map designation for this property from county urban medium intensity to city retail, amending the future land use element neighborhood O development policy to limit development to vehicle storage, warehousing, and self-storage related uses compatible with the surrounding commercial and light industrial corridor, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. No additional comments or speakers?
And no speakers, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
Okay, we're going to move on to item 9C. It's the Growth Management and Planning Department All Aboard Storage Business Automotive Rezoning. This is an ordinance on second reading, quasi-judicial hearing. An ordinance amending the zoning map of the Lands of Inlet Code to rezone 1.7 plus or minus acres of property generally located along the west side of South Nova Road, south of June Terrace, and north of the Carriage Cove mobile home community from unincorporated Volusia County General Industrial to City Business Automotive, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. No
No speakers.
All right, all those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
Okay, we're going to move on to item 9D. It's a Permits and Licensing Department non-ad valorem assessments for collection of 2026 demolition costs. This is a resolution public hearing. A resolution of the City of Daytona Beach providing for the approval and adoption of non-ad valorem assessment roll for demolition costs and expenses, providing for certification of the assessment roll, providing for severability, providing for conflicting resolutions, and providing for an effective date.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
And I have no speakers on this item, Mr. Mayor.
All right, all those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
Okay, we're going to move on to item 10, which is our introduction of ordinances. We have one item, 10A, is a Police Department Amendment to Municipal Ordinance, Chapter 94, Traffic and Motor Vehicles. This is for City Commission comments and questions only. This is an ordinance amending Chapter 94, Traffic and Motor Vehicles, Article 1 and Article 8 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Daytona Beach, amending existing code provisions relating to the operation of bicycles, scooters, and similar devices on public right-of-way to promote public health, safety, and welfare, providing for severability, codification, and conflicts, and an effective date. Are there any questions or comments from the Commission on this item?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I do. To me, the language is not clear if that includes the stand-up scooters that most anybody can rent, even younger kids that take over our sidewalks sometimes, going very fast. Are those included in this ordinance?
This ordinance doesn't add any new regulations for e-scooters. We have regulations on e-scooters that limit speed limits and where they can be ridden. The charge that we received was to adopt regulations on e-bicycles similar to what other jurisdictions such as Palm Coast had done recently, and that's what this ordinance does. So it actually catches up regulations for e-bicycles that we already sort of had in place for e-scooters.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
So the public hearing and final action is set for August 5th. Okay, we're going to move on to item number 11, which is our administrative items. Item 11A is the Economic Development Department Biketoberfest 2026 Master Plan for Private Property. This is a resolution relating to Biketoberfest 2026 from October 15th through October 18th, 2026, providing for certain parking and traffic uses and regulations, suspending parking regulations in the commercial areas of the controlled parking district from October 15th through October 18th of 2026, in accordance with Section 94-218D of the City Code, authorizing the city to operate paid parking lots at various locations in the Main Street area, authorizing various activities on public property, and providing an effective date.
So move.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
I do have a speaker, Mr. Mayor, Mr. John Nicholson.
John Nicholson, 413 North Grandview. Over the last dozen years or so, we've had maybe 3 meetings on Bike Week and Biketoberfest. Just recently, I had somebody who owns a business on Main Street who talked about getting rid of Bike Week. That pops up every so often. People get upset that the street hasn't moved anywhere in 40 years. Since we allowed the street to be taken over by Bike Week and Biketoberfest, there are many businesses that close year-round and open only during Bike Week and Biketoberfest. Mike Shallow, 30 years ago, pushed for an ordinance that they had to be open 260 days a year in order to have any kind of a variance or be part of the master plan. They're getting older. Bike Week traditionally is Harley Davidsons. Generally, they're in their 70s and 80s. The younger kids use crotch rockets. Biketoberfest was started with the idea of adding another Bike Week on the off-season. So I'm asking you, I think it's time that we took a look at the variances that we give and what we can do to revitalize Main Street, because apparently the owners of businesses on Main Street did not like the remodeling or the new landscaping that was proposed. So something has to be done. We can't have half of our businesses on Main Street closed year-round. We've been working for years on getting kiosks on the end of the street, and they're talking it may be another year or 2 before we can get that kiosk done. So our CRA is going to sunset in 10 years, and our CRA department is doing nothing for Main Street. So we've got to get something done. We've got to start using those TIF funds to get buildings built, because if we don't use it now, then it will go away. They will not renew it. We have to get buildings built now so that when it sunsets, we can get those taxes. Thank you.
That was my only speaker for this item, Mr. Mayor.
All right, we had a motion and a second.
Yes.
And no further comment. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
Okay, we're moving on to item 11B. It's Economic Development Biketoberfest 2026 Master Plan for Public Property. This is a resolution approving with conditions the Biketoberfest 2026 Master Plan for outside activities. This says on private property. Give me 1 second. That says the same thing. second, folks. I'll make sure.
Fish, are you looking for the one on public property?
Yeah. Both of them I have saved. Okay. All right, so is this a resolution relating to Biketoberfest 2026 from October 15th through October 18th, 2026, providing for certain parking and traffic uses and regulations, suspending parking regulations in the commercial areas of the controlled district from October 15th through October 18th, 2026, in accordance with Section 94218D City Code, authorizing city to operate paid parking lots at various locations in the Main Street area, authorizing various activities on public property, and providing an effective date. It looks like these got mixed up, and for the private property, I read the public property. So let me go back. I just want to read into the record for 11A. Was a resolution relating to Biketoberfest 2026 from October 15th through October 18th, providing for certain parking. A resolution approving conditions with Biketoberfest 2026 master plan for outside activities on private property and authorizing outside activities during Biketoberfest, October 15th through October 18th, pursuant to City Land Development Code, Section 5.4.C.11, temporary outside activities associated with a festival, establishing conditions for all approved applications and uses and providing an effective date. And so that was the one that they voted on. I just wanted to clear that up for the record. So the one that we are doing for 11B is a resolution relating to Biketoberfest 2026 from October 15th through October 18th, providing certain parking and traffic uses and regulations, suspending parking regulations in the commercial areas of the controlled parking district from October 15th through October 18th, 2026, in accordance with Section 94-218D of the City Code, authorizing the city to operate paid parking lots at various locations in the Main Street area, authorizing various activities on public property, and providing an effective date.
So moved. Second.
And before you all move forward, I wanted to say that Commissioner Reed it's been on since 11A, the first one. And also for you vote, want to thank Rose. There were individuals that she worked with who may have not been submitted all their paperwork before the deadline, but instead of having them just come before you all tonight, she worked with them to complete their documents and put them in the package once they cleared everything before coming to you all tonight. So all of the individuals that normally have submitted have provided that information, and she worked with them once she noticed that they didn't have everything before to make sure they didn't have to come to our meeting tonight. So thank you.
And I would just like to say thank you too. This is the first time.
Okay, we did have, and I do have one speaker for the public property, and that's Mr. John Nicholson.
John Nicholson, 413 North Grandview Avenue. As you know, on the voting that's coming up in November, there'll be a ballot issue with regard the public property and property taxes. About 30 years ago, I talked about Patty Evans into charging at the Peabody parking lot to raise funds for the Peabody to bring in acts and whatnot. We went from $16,000 the first year to almost $160,000 by the time they stopped doing it. I'm asking you to consider going back to see what we can make a profit on. And I know Sandy is going to go nuts in the back of the room, but the highest and best use of our property. We're going to have to raise funds. So at this point, Helen Rieger decided, no, we don't want to do this. Although I pushed for parking on the streets. We had parking on Grandview. Some of you remember Pop Warner got the profits from Grandview and took it back over to Midtown. There was no fundraising whatsoever for the Peabody or for anything on Beachside. So we ended up having all of the parking. I designed a plan. So they were getting a great deal of money for the Peabody. What are, other than the charges that we have, what money are we making off of Bike Week and Biketoberfest? We have hundreds of thousands of people in it. There have got to be ways that we can raise funds for our organizations. Like the county is now not funding arts in public places. So at some point, we're going to have to take funding. If this proposition passes, we're going to have to cut things. So rather than keep cutting, I'm asking you to think outside the box. And when we have Bike Week, when we have Biketoberfest, when we have Turkey Rod Run, if there are ways to make money from city property, I would like us to look at all of our properties and see what we can do to raise funds when we have all these extra tourists in town. Thank you.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
We did.
We have a question. All those,
We did, yeah.
all those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
We're going to move on to item 11C. This is the Finance Department budget, setting a tentative fiscal year 2026-27 millage rate. This is a resolution. Can hear the echo. This is a resolution authorizing the notification to the property appraiser for advertising purposes. The City of Daytona Beach fiscal year 2026-27 proposed tentative operating millage rate of 5.9300, the current rollback millage rate of 5.7309, the voted debt service millage rate of 0.1574, the first public hearing date of September 9th, 2026 on the tentative millage rate and proposed fiscal year 2026-27 budget, and providing an effective date.
We have a motion and a second.
Who was Reed and
Reed was on here.
Reed's on here in May.
All right. All right, we have any discussion?
I do have a speaker, Mr. John Nicholson.
John Nicholson, 413 North Granbury Avenue. I've been commenting for the last 30 years or so about rollback. Remember Bud Asher, we did a rollback for 7 years in a row, and then we raised our taxes by 27%. And I never want to get to the point we're going to keep rolling back our taxes. Well, with the property tax, if it passes this November, could we get a comment from Mr. Fiacher how that's going to affect and tie the hands of the commission when we need funding for whatever? Does that tie our hand to have rollback forever? Thank you.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Do we have any other questions? All right. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Let the record reflect that Commissioner Reed is in attendance from Prescott, Arizona.
And that was our final agenda item.
All right, we will start our comments. I believe Commissioner Reed was first. Do you have any comments for tonight's meeting, Commissioner?
Good evening. As you all know, I'm here because of work. Just want to say that I'm glad that I was able to join and move on that last motion. And I'm looking forward to coming back home because they're having monsoon storms up here. And the altitude is not my friend. Grateful that we celebrated 1 year anniversary with Dr. Mosley as the president of Bethune-Cookman. And just looking forward to the changes that he's going to bring about. It was also the 151st birthday of Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune last week. And we've got some great things that are happening in the city. And I'm trying to see if there was something that I wanted to specifically say. Really enjoyed participating in the 4th of July celebration. I know that it was heartbreaking that Commissioner Cantu could not be there. That is her baby. I did send her a note of encouragement, and I'm glad to hear her voice this evening, to know that she's back and on the dais. For now, that concludes my comments. Thank you, sir.
We'll move to Commissioner Parrish.
Thank you, Mayor. When we have our budget workshop on the 29th, are we also going to go over our CRA workshop priorities because we still are waiting on that?
Yes, all of those will be a part of the budget discussions as well as your capital projects list as well.
And when are we going to get a copy of everything?
The books are back here.
Okay. The next question I had someone ask me about the P&L remaining balance funds. So I know we discussed that we were going to do a reduction and rebate program. Can someone just walk us through the procedure and where we are
Yes.
in the process?
Yes, Deputy City Manager Morris, who's leading the charge from my office, working with Attorney Gross and his team, he'll lay out what's the process forward and where we are with going forward.
Mayor, Commission members, good evening. Jim Morris, Deputy City Manager. Commissioner, we've put the methodology together. We're working with the auditors for the final numbers. In respect to the rebate, we've got a deadline, I think, of September 10 is the amount of time that the building permits are waived. And the commission had said you wanted a decision prior to that time so you could understand any arrearages there might be and the way the funding would occur. So we have got the methodologies assembled, made a big list of the properties that would be rebated and looked at the figures. We need final numbers from the audit that will come from the state. And we have some projected numbers from our own accounting staff. So that's all there in rough form. And I actually have a memorandum. I expect you will see something on the next commission agenda that has a memorandum and explains the methodology in detail, which of course you'll see well in advance of the meeting to speak to the overall parts of it. And other people will be able to review that too.
So the methodology was done in-house, or did we?
It was done in-house.
It was done in-house.
Yes,
So you're saying by the next meeting we should have a memorandum?
You'll have a memorandum that speaks to the general concept of it. I think it still will be honed down some because we need final numbers from auditors. But aside from that, yes, ma'am.
And when are we going to get the final numbers from the auditors?
That's a question I don't know the answer to. It's when they provide them. That's the state audit.
Do you think it'll change much? I mean, the numbers are the numbers, right?
Well, 1 and 2 are different numbers, and I think there will be a difference in the numbers in terms of the estimate versus the specific number identified by the state auditors. But I can't say that one way or another. I have no way to know specifically the answer to that question. So when we say the numbers are the numbers, I don't think then that they will be exactly the same. If we thought that, we'd have gone ahead and proceeded. We don't think necessarily that's the case. We've done the best estimates that our staff, that's finance and accounting, can deal with and provide their numbers. We have those, and those are actually in the draft memorandum that I have laying on my desk. But we have some information we still need to get.
Do you think the numbers are going to come in lower or higher?
I don't have an idea. Thank you.
I just want to thank the police department for their special attention they've been paying to the boardwalk. That's really helped over there to clean that area up, and it's drawing more civilians, if you will, tourists to that area. There seems to be a lot more feeling a lot safer than they once did in that neighborhood over there. Also, I want to thank the police department for working really hard to clarify put their position with trikes during Biketoberfest and Bike Week. There was quite an uproar there for a while about no trikes on Main Street. That's not true. It depends on the size of the wheelbase, and I think 65 inches is the maximum wheelbase of a trike to be on Main Street. I hope everyone is enjoying this hot summer weather we're having. It appears to be good for tourists because I see a lot of sunburned people over on A1A as I travel back and forth. And everybody have a great night.
Commissioner May I?
Yes, of course.
I can't believe I forgot this, the sesquicentennial. The team would kill me if I didn't bring this up. So This is our birthday month, and July 18th, we're going to be having our time capsule ceremony at Fire Station 1, 420 South Ridgewood Avenue at 11 a.m. I hope everyone can attend. I hope everybody will also put in a little note that we could put in that will be opened after 100 years. Then we have our Illuminate the Decades on Friday, the 24th, from 7 to 9 at the band shell. Then on 7/25, Saturday, 5 to 11, Main Street Cheers to 150 Years. Then on Saturday night, July 25th, from 7 to 9:15, there's going to be an Allman Brothers Revival Band. So they started out here in Daytona, so we're going to do a tribute to them. And then our Community Day, which is going to be Sunday the 26th from 11 to 7. You can find at the Cherry Center, and you can find all the information at db150.com. So I hope everyone comes out to celebrate our city and our 150 years and our story. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. So I visited the Thurman House and had a private conversation with the curator, and it's in Zone 3 now. It was in Zone 6, and we had an expansion of zones. So it's in Zone 3. I really appreciated what they're trying to do there, and I hope that we can work with them as a commission, because revitalizing that area, adding some more features to it, it's going to make a big difference to the entire area. I have some trouble spots here and there, but I think if we had the Thurman House as a place to visit, the entire community could enjoy it, and it would just bring it alive a little bit more. But it's a wonderful space, a really good chat, really good information and history there. I want to say thank you to Public Works. Why? Dead Man's Curve. I now have a sign up there. I'm very happy. My residents are happy. And also on Bostwick, on Beachside, we had a drain that was clogged. So thank you to Public Works and also utilities for figuring out who was responsible for it. And we cleared up the clogs. And it was actually an FDOT drain, not a city drain. I would like to know if the police are interested in something. I have not spoken to the chief about this, but I had a resident who was 76 years old invite me on a bike ride. I had not been on a bicycle in a number of years, and like a trooper, I went with him, and we went through Peninsula. We took Oak Ridge, we went to Ocean Avenue, I was on A1A, I came back up Silver Beach, and then he said to me, "Hey, let's go to the park." And I said, "But there's a bridge there." And he said, "Yes." And off we went. The bike lane is narrow. That was one thing that I noticed. It's very, very narrow. And I was imagining, in my mind, I thought, I'm wearing a helmet, I'm using all of my safety signals, etc., but it still felt really uncomfortable. But I would like to really promote bicycle riding in Daytona Beach. I know the former commissioner, Kelly White, was also a big supporter of it. So I'm wondering if the police have time, if they would consider doing a supervised bike ride in the community maybe once a month. I would like to have a conversation about that and just encourage young people over the age of 50 as well, get on your bicycle and join us. And I think there'd be a huge safety feature if we had police in the front on bikes and then in the back as well. I know I'd feel more comfortable, but maybe it's an opportunity to work on helmets, safety reflectors, and just some basic road skills. So if there's any interest in that from the police department, I'd love to develop something like that with them. And then finally, I've been going to the baseball field. Really enjoyed the event the other evening, sir. The Tortugas they played Palm Coast, and I stayed for the game. I saw lots of local people, and I thought this is a really nice spot to meet neighbors. I saw so many people I recognized from the community, and it was pleasant to have just a nice evening out. So thank you to the city for providing tickets to the community. In the same vein, there is an event that I just sponsored. It's for the Sheriff's Youth Foundation. The sponsoring group is also a program called the V Foundation. All proceeds stay in Daytona Beach, and it's going to support the Sheriff's Foundation event that's taking place 21st, 22nd, and 23rd as well. So please come out. It's going to be the Volusia Sheriff and then also the Fire Department, Volusia Fire Department, and they'll be playing a game at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. So do come out. Thank you so much.
What is their foundation geared to?
Cancer for kids. Yes.
For kids.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I saw that. All right, thank you. Commissioner?
Yeah, first of all, I just would like to say thank you again to Rose. This was like the first time since I've been up here that we didn't have all these people coming up. She they did an amazing job. Or whoever all did it, she did an amazing job. Second, thank you, Commissioner Reed, for mentioning the parade. I was really sick, and she knew that I wouldn't miss that parade. And 5 years, all the veterans were very, very pleased. It's getting bigger and bigger. It started out with the Marine Corps and the Military Order of the Purple Heart. And I would just like to say to Commissioner May, thank you so much for taking the reign for me, because I was definitely sick. And I did take the advice from my doctor, and it's been 6 years since I had a vacation, and I took a week. You can tell I have a tan. And I feel much better too. So, but I just want to say thank you for everyone that attended the parade too. And I did get to watch it. There was a video online that I found, so I was very pleased. And thanks to Parks and Rec as well.
I only have one comment tonight, and that is, I was wondering, I found out that Orman's Commission takes off 1 month in July. I was wondering if that was something that you all would be interested in, because it gives their staff the opportunity to plan trips and vacations for the summer. It gives the commission the opportunity to plan trips and vacation. So does it give, and then a lot of people aren't missing out on different things. So I was just wondering if that, I'm not going to be here either way. However, I thought it was a very good idea, and was wondering if something that's something that you all would be interested in.
I think the county does something too. Am I correct on that? Yeah, I think they do something as well.
So that's my comment for tonight. That's it.
Okay. Well, I went to the Tortugas game, and I was designated with throwing out the first pitch. And I've done that probably 6, 7 times since I've been mayor. And all the times preceding this time, I always threw a strike. I didn't feel very good going to the mound this time. And the city manager nor the police chief, neither of them were there. So nobody was there to talk trash and get me riled up and take me into that competitive zone. And so this year's pitch did not hit the dirt. But if there were a batter there, he certainly would have been hit. It was awful. But it didn't hit the dirt. So the chief nor the manager, they still can't do any talking. Last time they went, dirt balls didn't even make it to the dirt. They hit the grass. That's how bad their pitches were. But mine was just slightly better. So, but anyway, it was a part of the celebration for the 150th for Daytona Beach, and it was a beautiful evening. And the Jack really does look good. You know, it looks good. It's a lot of money, and I still shudder about how much it costs. And we still get people who come on and talk about it. But I'd have to do it again, because the legacy of Jackie Robinson is just unassailable. And to be the birthplace of that legacy is something that we should really be proud of as a community. And I'm proud of the fact that we honor it in the way that we do and take such pristine care of the facility. And having a professional team there really speaks well for our community. And it's just a good thing. So I was very happy with that. Just got the information while sitting here on the Change the Code, the mayor's Change the Code initiative that supports Mainland High School students. I just want to read it directly. they reported that 100% of all the seniors who participated in the Mayor Henry Change the Code program graduated from Mainland High School. And just so you all know, that's 99 students. And that's about a fourth of all the graduates who participate in this program. And what it is, it's a program that I've explained it over the years that takes the students who for various reasons may be at risk of graduating. Most times it's because they haven't passed the state assessment test. And there are several ways that you can reach that standard, one of which is to take the SAT, the ACT, or the Florida State Assessment Test. And so you have to pass one of those in order to graduate. So we had 99 students who went through this program, and all of them passed. And I announced at the last meeting that, once again, that the school was rated an A grade, but it's very important that we remember that this program has been very instrumental in helping. And we as a commission support that. You guys will remember some years ago we had a program here that was entitled the Mayor's Backpack Giveaway. And the Mayor's Backpack Giveaway routinely gave out thousands of backpacks each year. Over the years, first 7, 8 years of my tenure, I started to notice that the numbers waned and the program just didn't have the girth that we liked for it to have, because so many others have done backpack giveaways. And we've been privy as a commission to support other backpack giveaways. So we transitioned that program into programs like the Mayor's Honors Program, the Mayor's Literacy Program, and this program. So I wanted to do things that I thought were more academically driven and actively engaged in helping the students. It wasn't that, I know the kids still need backpacks, but being a academician, if you will, or one who is engaged in teaching children, I thought that it was important for us to begin to be more engaged on that end, where we had programs where we saw measurable outcomes. And we can see that with this. So very happy with that particular initiative. I had something. Okay, I wanted to go over this. I'm very pleased to announce that this week, I believe it was on July 8th, the city of Daytona Beach had an interdepartmental staff walk. And just want to share some highlights from that walk and ask that you all would encourage our staff to do this throughout the city. City manager and team, he wasn't on the walk, but his team went on the walk. He was meeting with me actually during the walk, and I was trying to make it over to it, but I missed it. City staff conducted an interdepartmental field assessment on July 8th, 2026. Within the area bounded by Halifax River, Ocean Avenue West, Halifax River East, International Speedway Boulevard South, and Main Street North. The purpose of the walk was to evaluate existing property conditions, identify code compliance concerns, assess redevelopment opportunities, and recognize planning and infrastructure issues that would benefit from a coordinated, multi-departmental approach. The walk also provided an opportunity for staff to view conditions firsthand and discuss strategies for improving the appearance, safety, and long-term vitality of this important corridor. We had folks from various departments. I think it was about 15 different people who went on the walk. Part of the summary, property maintenance deficiencies, most common conditions that they observed. Things like peeling paint, deteriorated siding, rotten wood, damaged windows, broken structural components. Landscaping and grounds maintenance, overgrown grass and weeds, unmaintained landscaping, vacant lots, junk debris and outdoor storage, trash accumulation, outdoor storage, miscellaneous materials, construction debris. Issues requiring additional interdepartmental review include property use issues, right-of-way improvements, non-conforming uses, redevelopment opportunities, long-term vacant properties. Now, that's just a summary of some of the things that they saw and things that need to be done. Some of the recommendations that have come forth or are coming forth: code compliance will investigate each identified concern to determine the appropriate enforcement action. Issues outside the responsibility of code compliance will be referred to the appropriate department for review and follow-up. A follow-up status report will be provided within 90 days outlining actions taken, departmental referrals, compliance efforts, and recommendations for any additional actions. In conclusion, the July 26 staff walk report was a valuable opportunity for city staff to collectively evaluate conditions within one of Daytona Beach's key gateways. That's our beachside. The collaboration among participating departments reflects the city's commitment to proactive neighborhood improvement and strategic redevelopment. By addressing immediate maintenance concerns while planning for long-term enhancements, the city will be better positioned to preserve property values, improve quality of life, and support continued investment. I believe there was a total of about 90 to 95 infractions that they witnessed, and they'll address them through the mechanisms that I discussed. I want to commend the staff for this engagement effort and would like you all to join me in encouraging them to do this in all areas of the city. Would you all think that's a good idea? Okay, all right. And I'm glad that you guys started on the beach side. We're going to continue to just do everything, any and all things that we can to ensure that we're giving the beach side the attention that it needs. I'd also like to announce that plans are underway for a coffee with the mayor. We'll have 5 different destinations throughout the city. All 5 hopefully will take place before January, where I will invite residents from those parts of the community to join me for coffee and a discussion about things that are transpiring in our city and ways that we can continue to make our community and our city a better space and a better place. Part of this is to make certain that our residents understand that we don't believe that we have anything to hide from. We don't believe that. We believe that we need to be engaged with you, hearing from you, and I've told friends and foes that I'm about the discussions that are necessary. Is Mr. Bellichew here tonight? He's not. Okay. Well, I'll be looking for him at the next meeting because I received favorable feedback regarding our discussion during the last commission meeting, because I think it's important that we continue to clarify a lot of the misconceptions that are taking place throughout our city. And one of the things that I want to get some clarification on is to continue with the discussion on the audit that involved the fire department, because it doesn't matter how much you discuss certain issues. We know there's a population of people who want to say that this is wrong or that's wrong, and some things are wrong, but we need clarification so you understand that a lot of what you read or what you saw in the press was misreported, or it wasn't what was stated. And so I want Mr. Bellichew to come and help us to digest that, because I think that was the beginning of his tenure, and we didn't get off to a full push to explain that audit in the way that it should have been explained. So he and I hopefully will be able to discuss that during the next meeting. Mr. Manager?
Yes, thank you, Honorable Mayor. Want to also echo what Commissioner Parrish talked about. I really want to thank the Parks and Rec team, Katie and Samantha, and our communications and marketing staff for the work they've been doing for the sesquicentennial, but not only sesquicentennial, but many of the meetings that all of you all are having and hosting throughout the community, and information that team and communications and marketing provides that for you. Just want to say that the HOP board, they took the challenge that the mayor initiated to go up to $250,000. So they have contributed. They voted to give another $150,000 for the folk festival to match, ask us to also match. So the $250,000 that you all said you would set aside, they've given $250,000. So in the next budget, we'll bring that forward as a commitment. We don't have to pay anything now, but they did come forward with that. So if there is a form, I know the city attorney would want us to make a motion to say that we would contribute the same match to the HOP board when it is time. And so if that is still your desire, I would ask to entertain a motion on that particular item.
We have a motion and a second, but I would like a clarification. I noticed on the agenda that Commissioner Strickland had donated an additional $10,000. That's from the city, so that means we would add $240,000 to make it to $250,000.
That was from his ARPA.
Doesn't matter. It gets to $250,000. It's $250,000.
So is that the desire you all will want to go for $240,000 and allow for Commissioner Strickland's $10,000 to be added to make the total of $250,000?
Yeah, it's an accurate assessment, right? Do y'all disagree? I mean, I'm not. These are city funds. Don't we all agree? Okay, I'm just making sure I get it right. Listen.
$250 total.
$250 total.
Okay. So I'm asking for you all to make a motion to contribute $240,000 towards this, and we will add the $10,000 from Commissioner Strickland's community support funds. You also have to open it up for public comment.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we have any comment on this item? John Nicholson. Mm-hmm.
No, I'd have a comment. John Nicholson, 413 North Grandview Avenue, and absolutely not 10,000. Ken should get the money back. The 250 should be from the commission as a whole. You don't rely on and screw one person. So, secondly,
I'm good with that too. But Ken went out and made a arrangement with those folks.
Right.
But go ahead.
Secondly, with regard to the commission stepping forward, this is the first time I've really enjoyed the idea that the commission went above and beyond what they normally would to back an event that I think will bring over 100,000 people. The diversity, the whole idea of creating, like Janet Kersey created Oktoberfest out of thin air. And you guys are doing the same thing with this. You are putting your money where your mouth is. And I think this will go a long way with the group that's sponsoring it. When they hear that you all put that kind of money up, I think it speaks very well of the city. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
That particular $10,000 was initially given to the Seabreeze High School and then returned because they didn't want to fill out the disclosure form. So I guess it just stands to reason that it's still controversial, if you will. That 10,000 is controversial then, it's controversial now. It's for a good cause. I think it's good for the city, and let's get it done.
All right, thank you. Thank you. I concur. Okay, we have a motion and a second? Mm-hmm. We do. Mm-hmm. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0.
6-0. Commissioner Reed, I think, got off. Also, I have one more item. I sent you all an email. The school board has made a decision to surplus the Riverview Learning Center that's on Beachside. Based on interlocal agreements, they have to offer that up to the local government. I received a letter asking if we have a desire or an interest to acquire that property. And so I need some direction. If you all want me to see if there is a desire for them to donate, for us to purchase. I sent out some of the zoning responsibilities, but I need to have some type of direction if you want me to engage the school board in that property. If not, the school board will send it over to their real estate team, who will put it out on the open market for someone to be able to acquire the property.
If they want to donate it, we should accept it, but I don't think we should buy it.
Yeah. Everybody else in agreement? I love the property, and I agree, though. I don't think we don't need it just to own it and pay for it. We have some use for it. Now, I have 1,000 things that I think it could be used for, but why would we pay market value for that property? And it's a beautiful parcel, though. I rode by it the other day after you said that and went and looked at it. Wow. Nice big piece of property.
Well, I will send a letter from my office saying that the city will entertain you donating that property to the city of Daytona Beach, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, okay.
Can I ask a question? I'm just curious, where's the list that we've asked for a while ago with all the city properties?
Yes, that list is being finalized. Ann Ruby has mapped it out with our GIS and our staff, and you should be receiving a list shortly with all of that in a presentation at a commission meeting.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right, and we'll hear from the residents of Daytona Beach.
Okay.
Excuse me, and before you leave, I do have your budget books back here.
Okay.
Our first speaker is Joe Abston, and on deck is John Navarra.
Good evening. Sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead and get started and we'll take care of it.
Sorry.
That's okay.
All right.
Jill Abston, 19 Sherrington Drive, Ormond Beach. During your June 3rd CRA meeting, I heard your discussion about the need for more family-friendly activities on the boardwalk area. And my husband, our business partner, and myself would like to share our project that we've been working on. We're hoping to bring an outdoor wind tunnel to Daytona Beach, an open-air skydiving simulator. Imagine safely hovering on a cushion of air with views of Daytona Beach Pier and the Atlantic Ocean. It's an exciting, one-of-a-kind experience for both children and adults and would be unlike anything else currently operating in the United States. This is a state-of-the-art, permanent, year-round operation with the capacity to safely elevate up to 48 customers per hour. Our business would create dozens of local jobs, carry all required insurance, and completely comply with applicable noise regulations. Beyond attracting tourists, we plan to offer STEM programs, school field trips, collegiate training opportunities, local memberships, birthday parties, corporate events, making this a year-round community asset. We're currently in lease negotiations with a landowner near the boardwalk for a great location. The challenge we're facing at this location is the cost, timing, and risk inherent in the rezoning process that we discussed in our TRT meeting. If the process goes smoothly, we're being advised that this could take up to 10 months and still cost us tens of thousands of dollars. If this does not go smoothly, our investment in time and money could be lost. And what I'm here today looking for is either help with the timing of the zoning process so we could hopefully be open by spring break of 2027, or if the city has any available land on or near the boardwalk that is already zoned correctly. We want to make sure our location makes sense for us, but also fits within the city's vision for the revitalization in the area. We're a small local team with a big vision for Daytona Beach. We believe this attraction would encourage families to spend more time in the boardwalk area, support surrounding businesses, and help create exactly the kind of a destination you've said you want to see. We want to work together with the city to help breathe some new life into the boardwalk area. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love it.
Good. Thank you.
Did you have an area that you thought it would be great, like the perfect parcel? I'm curious.
Well, we've heard that you have the 28 South Atlantic, I believe, over near where Senior Frogs is. I think that could work. We do have fairly high electrical requirements. So I don't know what the electrical looks like over there. Really, anywhere near the boardwalk within that pedestrian area would be great for us. I think great for the whole city. I'm not exactly sure what parcels, are city property and available. So I don't know if there's someone on your team we could meet with and discuss any options.
Is it a possibility to work? Have you been working with
You've been
somebody?
meeting with Dennis and his team in planning, correct?
Yeah,
And-
we've had a lot of meetings. We're still working to find the perfect location. You know, there's a lot of moving parts, and we're just a couple
Can you
people.
explain exactly what? I think I get a good idea of it, but
I know,
just give everybody.
that's why I gave you a picture. It's hard to explain. So on the bottom, in the middle, is a giant fan. Run on electricity, so it's not super loud. And around that is a big inflatable pad. And then surrounding that, which doesn't show up very much in the picture, but it's a net. So you float over that column of air in the middle over a pad surrounded by a net. So you have an instructor there with you, holding you, help you fly in front of the ocean.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I think it could
This
be really
is just
exciting.
the kind of thing I was thinking that we needed over there when I had
That's why I
that
came here. I heard your
conversation.
comments in the meeting.
Yeah.
And it's family friendly. My 9-year-old twins love it.
No, I just have to.
Let me ask you this.
I jumped out of it.
What do you see as your biggest impediment right now?
The right location with the right zoning and the right lease.
Okay. Where's Mr. Morozek? Is he back there? Dennis?
I don't know if he's
No,
back there.
no, he's not here.
I can't see back there. I knew Jim Morris was gone.
Jim?
Hear the question.
Okay. I asked her what was her biggest impediment.
I did hear that question.
Okay, and I'm asking because we have a community in a city that is clamoring for this. Not just this, but this and a whole bunch more. And we don't want to hold up. So she says that her biggest impediment is the right location.
So let me speak to it for just a minute.
Go ahead.
We'd love to have these folks. We've looked at 2 sites they've looked at. First was one on ISB on the south side. And we went through a review on that, talked about that one. Then the next one we looked at was South Atlantic, the corner of Maine and A1A.
Right.
We've gone through that one. And that one, I don't know if it's online or not. I hadn't heard about the place on A1A, on the ocean that was referenced. From a perspective of the timing of it, we'll do it as fast as process will let us. But when you look at a redevelopment board, a planning board, city commission, and I don't recall plan amendments that were needed. I think it was PD to allow the specifics of what you want. It's a great use. I've actually done something similar at a place in Utah. That was more of the iFly thing that's in a tube type arrangement. So I'm very familiar with their proposal, and we've been enthusiastic staff-wise about having it occur. But as you said, you need a site that's the site, because we've gone through 2 already, and that's your evaluation process. And they've got to make the right decision for them or for themselves. From a standpoint of what we can do with them, to the limit the law will allow us, and then y'all will allow us, we'll expedite if they find a site and they're ready to go. But we have to have a site to work with.
Right.
Okay.
Same as you.
Yeah.
All right, okay. All right, well, I just want to make sure all parties are on the same page and working together, because I believe that it's unanimous up here.
Our
And
site will make it go as fast as you
Yeah, okay, all right, okay.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
everyone.
Okay, our next speaker is John Navarra, and on deck is Hemis Ivy.
John Navarra, 168 Springwood Drive, Daytona Beach, as part of our 150-year celebration for the city of Daytona Beach. During the last City Commission meeting week on Sunday, I was able to visit somewhere really special that has a tie to Daytona Beach. It was Marion, Ohio, the home of President Harding. And when I went to dinner tonight, I saw the building across the street on Orange Avenue that used to be President Harding's place where he stayed in Daytona Beach over 100 years ago. The interest in President Harding is very, very strong in Marion and the rest of Ohio. And I did meet someone also in the 90s. There was a very famous yet controversial resident of Daytona Beach. And this gentleman who I met said he worked with this gentleman called Fulgencio Batista. And he used to live in Daytona Beach.
He did.
And he was the leader of Cuba right before Castro was president. And he worked in the cigar business with Mr. Batista. And Mr. Batista used to live on the same street I used to live on, North Halifax Avenue, right near Seabreeze High School. And if you know where the Greek festival is, that was his home. I don't think there's any plaque or anything commemorating it. Maybe it's kind of controversial. I don't know.
That would be.
I'm not sure whether you want to, publicize that. But that's where he used to live. That was his home. And they said he couldn't live in Miami due to security reasons, supposedly, the historical story. So it was interesting. I went to Ohio on the research mission / vacation, tomato. And I saw the homes of 7 presidents. I've been to the homes of presidents since I got married in 1989. Sometimes my children would go with me if I could get them to go. And then a lot of times my wife, and sometimes on my own. But I've been to Ohio and Iowa, Michigan, all over the place. But it was interesting to see information in Ohio about Mr. Harding visiting Daytona Beach quite frequently. And he went on the St. Johns River. He went, boating and all that stuff. Presidents had, a lot of time, I guess, back then. And so they were able to do a lot of excursions. So it was interesting to see all that and report it back to you. Thank you, and happy 4th and happy 150th for Daytona Beach.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Hemis Ivy, and on deck is it John Conad?
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Commission, City Manager. I come here today respectfully request your assistance in securing a development agreement on a project located at 112 Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard. It's a 24-unit, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom residential complex. Our site plan has been fully approved since May 2024. Yet, despite repeated attempts to move toward a development agreement, the terms and expectations presented to us have shifted multiple times. Most recently, staff asked us to negotiate the acquisition of an adjacent parcel to address parking requirements. We completed those negotiations as requested with a clear understanding that the CRA would fund the parcels as part of the incentive package. Once we notified staff that we were willing to release our liens in order to clear title, the city declined to release its lien and further recommended paying only half of the appraised value of $62,000 on a $124,000 parcel. This is inconsistent with prior CRA transactions where parcels have been funded at fully appraised value or above. Our investment in this project has already exceeded $1 million. Driven by increased construction costs, materials, and tariffs, we have also requested consideration for utility permit fee waivers totaling approximately $111,000, yet no recommendation has been provided. We have examples where the CRA has paid those utility costs for other developers, but yet we cannot get ours paid. At one point, we secured a $4.5 million commitment from a lender. Negotiation with the city stalled, and that financing opportunity was lost. We are now attempting to reverse engineer the project to secure the maximum incentives before pursuing permanent financing again. However, staff has recently indicated that we must obtain financing first, placing us at risk of losing another lender due to unresolved city commitments. We are here today because we cannot afford to repeat that cycle. We need clarity, consistency, and a path forward. We're asking the City Commission to intervene so that we can finalize a development agreement, secure the incentives previously discussed, and move this project toward construction without further delays and shifting requirements. There has been times where we have actually, again, had a commitment for funding. We are here asking for your help in order to secure incentives so we can get a development agreement. Just as Framework has done. Framework has came to this commission 3 times and have yet to start their development. If we can at least get our utility permit
Finish the point. Finish the thought.
If we can at least get our utility permit fee waived, which is $111,000, we have asked and talked with staff about we would like to be performance-based to prove that we are capable of doing this project. If we can get just a permit fee waived of $111,000, which is utilities, if you committed to that tonight, we will start our project within 2 weeks. By July, we will, by the end of July, no later than August 15th, we are willing to submit our permits for ground-up construction. We are committed to this project. We have been working on this project since 2023. So I'm asking for your help. I'm asking for your guidance. We're just tired. It's draining. It's costing us economically. And we have jumped over hoops backwards, willing to pour our funds to make this project work.
Well,
Thank you very much.
Who all have you been working with here at the city?
I've been working with Ken Thomas and Michelle Tolliver. I've had the opportunity.
I was going to say that's not absolutely true, Mr. Ivy, and I'm extremely disappointed because we had a conversation this morning about the process, and you're asking the commissioners to do something that you know that we have to go through certain procedures, and you were okay. You actually said thank you in your communications to me to give me the opportunity to look at this information on how we help to move your project forward, because I do think it's a good project, but you're asking the commissioners to intervene on something that they don't have the backup information that legal has not approved also for us to go through. You do have a great project, but you and I just talked about this earlier today, and to come in here and say you're not giving me the opportunity to work with the staff members that you say you have concerns with is disappointing, because we do have a good working relationship. And you're asking the commissioners to make comments and approve something that is outside of the bounds of them not having full awareness of what you're trying to deal with, and making sure that the consultants that are hired from the CRA to make sure your project can move forward, they can review your documents. And so that's all. I thought you were giving me a chance when you contacted me this morning to work with them, and you said you would. Your communications back to me stated that you would give me the chance to talk with them, and that was this afternoon. And so this is perplexing to me, because we've had a great working relationship to try to move this project forward.
And the reason that I'm here, and like you say, I'm not here to be controversial. The reason why I'm here in front of the commission now is because everything constantly changes. Every communication we try to do, it changes. And it's hard to move a project forward when you're trying to secure financing. Some of the things that are being asked of us has not been asked of other developers. I have the proof.
But did I not ask you? I say if you have the proof that this staff has provided this to other developers. I asked you that today.
You did ask me.
And for you to come tonight and not give me that opportunity is disappointing. So when I communicate with you now, it has to be electronically, because you stated to me that you were going to give me the information. And if you were going to show me that information, I would went back to staff and say, why are you causing Mr. Ivy more stress and to be postponed with his project, and you've executed for other developers in the CRA? And that's the thing that will happen today. It didn't happen a week ago. That was our communications today.
And that you are 100% correct, that you have been communicating with me. I'm not here to deny that, but I'm here because we constantly can sit in the room and go over these things. And I'm coming from my opinion, okay? I'm coming from what has actually transpired from my personal talking with the city manager and talking with staff. I agree. You have came back to us, to me personally, and I did agree to say, yes, I will give you this information, but I done that. Not today I didn't. Not today I did not. But in the past I have. But because after talking with our development team and looking over the information that was requested from us today, caused us to come out to the commission and ask. It's no disrespect coming to you as a city manager, because I do believe that you have been courteous enough to sit down with me one-on-one more than one time to discuss the situation. But as we get down to the nitty gritty, and we're trying to meet deadlines from the city that are going to expire when it comes to putting your permits in, because certain things are being waived on the construction side. But there are utility permits that have been waived for other builders, and we can't get ours waived in order to start. So at some point, I have to come forward and ask.
I have some more questions. And you're more than welcome to come forward. Any citizen can come forward and address the commission. And I want to hear your concerns, because I know that it's harder for smaller builders and developers to do things. And I know that 1 day loss, 2 day loss, 3 day loss may not seem like a lot to a much bigger company, but to very small people, it means a lot. $1,000 here, $500 here, $200, and after a while you're like, why am I even doing the project? Because it's going to be far more than what I can actually benefit from. So that's why I'm asking questions. This is not even about the waiving the fees. I just like to have the information myself and hear both points of view and hear both sides. So what is it that you feel other developers are getting that you aren't getting besides the $111,000?
Well, I'm glad you asked, and if it's okay, I would like to address it. Besides the $111,000, we've asked, I have a list of asks that I had submitted to the city manager. When it was referred back to us as of the day, the requirements that they asked us to send in was 3 requirements. We sent those requirements in. Now we come back today, what we received was another longer list. Again, that moves the goalposts, because if we just trying to get to this part, we can't. For instance, back in December 2023, we were asked out of 24 units to make our units, 20 of them to be affordable units at 80% AMI. No way we could do that. Your numbers will never cover construction.
20 units out of 24?
20 out of 24.
That's
over 80% of our units.
That's a lot.
It's here and right.
Okay.
Even once we discuss our last discussion, we never talked about affordable units. But today, now we have to go through affordable housing. We already went from a $7 million budget to an $8 million budget. We've already said that we would eat a lot of cost and defer it just to get the construction started in order to move it forward while we go through discussion.
Okay, my next question, because I don't want to hold up my next question is, I would expect, if you want something back, I would expect something to be affordable units. I don't know how many that would be. I do think 20 out of 24 is ridiculously high, if that is in fact the case, that is high. And I don't recall other builders having that many affordable units. I'm going to go back and check on that and see typically what others have given. But my next question is how, so your budget increased from $7 million to $8 million, and how long when was it that you started this project?
Back in December 2023.
Back in December of 2023.
Yes, we closed on the property April the 1st in 2023. We went through a lot of legal issues. We still are willing to waive some of our fees because it's more beneficial for us to get rid of some of our liens in order to move the project forward.
Okay, my next question is for staff. Is it customary for us to require them to have funding prior to, or is that something that's only for certain people, only for certain companies?
No, there's a process, and to be honest, I'm asking for an entire detail of every single interaction to provide it to every single commissioner on all of the projects that have received funding from our CRAs.
Okay.
So we can make sure that they're all going by the same process and procedures, so that if, one individual, and that's why I ask him, if one individual is getting something that he believes they've gotten that he has not received, I want to make sure that our staff are treating everybody equitable, regardless of small or large business.
I know, and you and I, when I interviewed you, this was something that you and I talked about, and so I do believe that. I don't believe that not to be the case. When I interviewed you, that was something that you and I talked about ad nauseum, which was the processes in which Daytona Beach it is to start a business here or get projects done here. At that time was very slow to me, even having gone through the process myself. So I do believe that that was something that was important to you. I just want to ask my own questions so that when I get the information and I come back and get ready to review the information, that I feel good about it and I'm clear in everything that's happening and going on. Because like I said, it's hard for the little man. It is just very hard for the little man. And sometimes, you just need somebody that say, I see you as a smaller builder, because we want 32114. These are the things we want because this is in 32114, right?
Yes.
These are the things that we want there.
In the Midtown CRA.
We want that. We've been crying for things in Midtown CRA. And so I want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to make sure you're successful to bring those things so that you can say, hey, I had a positive, great experience. Why don't y'all come do a project here in the 32114? So, because sometimes word of mouth, it travels and it helps. So just keep me posted. I'd like to know more. And after I get the information, I'd like to sit with you and talk with you as well. And I will continue to try and be supportive with this project and getting it moving forward.
And I thank you, and I will say, the city manager has been doing his job because he has met with me.
I know.
Okay,
I did not.
He has sent out documentation, but for whatever reason, I won't get into that. But if you go back on April 3rd, 2026, the CRA board paid $9,500 for building permit fees not eligible for waivers for 2 affordable housing new construction.
Mr. Ivory, can we get a copy of your documents as well?
Who
paid for 2 affordable housing units that's somebody else? That's referring to another development?
Or 2 houses.
For 2 houses, and
Which
for that
we're
amount.
asking for our utility permits to be waived also.
And this was for 2 affordable housing units for $9,500. Okay. Anyone else have anything? Because
I just want to know, this is it a specific program you asked for, or you just asked for a waiver for these utility fees?
We've asked for waivers on this particular utility.
Okay,
We
and how
have
long
asked
has
for
that
other,
been?
we have, excuse me,
So you bought the property in April, December 2023, you started asking about this? Is that
Yes.
when you first started asking about the
Yes.
waiving of the fees?
yes.
And I know Mr. Ivory's frustration, and I just want to make certain that we understand something as a community. Commissioner Henry alluded to it slightly when she said this is what we want in 32114. And that's not the only part of 32114, because across the street over here where the old church is, that's 32114 also. And so they're both in the same zip code. And everything that 32114 over here has asked for, I have supported that. In front of the scenes, behind the scenes, in any way that I could. And I don't want to be any different than 32114 over here. I've tried to do the same on both fronts. Now, you said something that was sort of telling and not probably true. They've come 2 or 3 times, you said. I know 2 times, probably 3, if you said that. And we've been supportive. So what I'm saying is that, and this is, I don't want you to, he's frustrated. He's just frustrated. So you all go back and try to work this out, because I can't speak for all of the other commissioners up here, but I know I can speak for myself. I want this as much as I want this over here. One may be 400 units and one may be 24 units. But these 24 will mean as much for Midtown as these 300 or 400 will mean for downtown. You know, and so we have to look at it that way. We have to remember that this is the catalyst. Just one beautiful building can be the catalyst that we're looking for to get more and more of that. So the same energy and enthusiasm and measure of respect and encouragement, because we've waited for them and we want them over here. I keep pointing this way, but you know what I'm saying. We want them and we waited for them and they haven't done jack. I thought that they would be able to do something. I don't know. They haven't done anything. And the hope was we gave them more incentives with hopes that they would do something within a certain time frame, because it's a big deal, but it's a big deal over there too. So don't go back in a spirit of frustration. Mr. Ivey, you can have a seat. But I believe that, I'm just speaking for me, it's vitally important, and now it's the same energy for me. There's no difference. And that's where I stand. Any other comments?
I just want to reiterate what the both of you said, because if one person's having an issue with projects, we don't want the word to get out that we're difficult to work with. But if this gentleman's been in contact with our offices since December 2023, that's a long time. So I'd like to see what our procedure is also, and if we could streamline it for others.
All right. Yes, sir. Next.
Okay, our next speaker is John Conode, and on deck is John Nicholson.
Folks, I am here to talk about intersection begging that we see in Daytona.
Intersection, what was
intersection begging? People begging in intersections. A couple months ago, I was at an intersection at Mason and Ridgewood, and I was parked in traffic, several cars back from the light, and the left turn lane had gone green. Now, this individual carrying a cardboard sign walked behind me, walked in front of a truck, and is no longer with us, I believe. I saw his body hit the truck, and I saw his body hit the ground. A few weeks after that, my wife and I were at Tanger intersection. Same kind of thing. But this guy was fortunate. The truck that bumped into him stopped before anything else happened. Light turned green. This fella's walking through traffic. Truck ahead of me starts to go and proceeds to bump him. Individual just kind of stepped back, continued on. There's got to be a way for this to be prevented, folks. City roadway workers and contractors wear reflective clothing. They have barricades, they have cones that protect them and protect the public from hitting them. There are men working signs and everything needed to keep those folks safe and to keep the public from hitting them. There are bike lanes, pedestrian walkways, signals, lights, painted lines, and signs everywhere telling people where to go, where not to go, and how to behave in roadways. But there is no men begging signs. There are no cones. There are no reflective vests, and they stand right in the middle of the road, feet away from cars, placing themselves at the risk of getting killed. And what about the folks that hit them? What happens to them? They get a manslaughter charge by chance? What happens? Why are they allowed to do this? Is somebody Are you guys doing them a favor by letting them? I mean, this has been going on for years. I've born and raised in this state. And there just doesn't seem to be an end to it. When's it going to end? The last thing I want to say, I'm skipping a bunch of stuff because nothing more really needs to be said, is when I was a kid, my parents brought me and my sister to Daytona, and we enjoyed the beach, and we played putt-putt golf, and we had a nice family time. We went out to eat. We didn't have to worry about people that are drug addicts, alcoholics, mentally ill, walking up to us and scaring the crap out of us. Okay?
All right.
Thank you,
Your
sir. Your
That's
time
what
has
we run
expired.
into.
Your time's up. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. The guy behind me, he spoke
Yeah.
what,
Okay.
15 minutes. So what are you guys going to do? Anything?
Thank you,
Anything?
sir. Your time has expired. Our next speaker is John Nicholson, and on deck is it Caleb Mack? He's from Ormond.
John Nicholson, 413 North Grandview Avenue. Danette, the county has 3 days they took off. They decided that at the beginning of the year. When was it? February? July is because of the 4th of July. So they took that one off. And then November, for the election, they'll take that day off. So they have 3 times. I'd like the idea of taking the whole month off. The city will not die if we give everybody a break. So if you want to present that, I hope everybody backs it. Number 2, Ken, have you noticed the speed bumps on North Atlantic? Remember I came last month and made a comment about the space on the side of the road that just drops down? Well, guess what? They put a speed bump on it. 4 speed bumps on the north end of A1A. So you've got a small rise throughout the first mile of where the traffic is in front of the Ocean Center that are maybe 2 inches high. You can barely feel them. Then Ormond has theirs, which are like 3 inches high. You can barely feel them. You get these that are about 8 inches high, and the ground goes down, comes up, then it comes down the other side. So when you go, it's a roller coaster. So I really think we need to look into those. With regard to events, we used to have parasailing on our beach. The county, when it redid their vendors, pushed him out. Too much money, $10,000 a month kind of thing. So I would like to get our parasailing back. He lives in Daytona Beach, but he does his parasailing out of Ponce Inlet. I would like to get him back into the core area because that's something that tourists would enjoy, seeing people in parachutes parasailing over our ocean. Secondly, when I go to Caribbean, they have banana boats. It's a big balloon kind of thing. You sit on it and it's towed. It's a lot of fun, doesn't cost much, but those are the kind of things that tourists enjoy. So I'm asking you to consider the idea of putting a kiosk or so underneath the pier. We have an area underneath it that is not being used. We could have something down there that we could rent out kayaks. We can do parasailing. We can do banana boats. We can do all kinds of activities. We have that lease for that pier. We might as well use it. With regard to events on Bike Week and Biketoberfest, yes, I started the parking in the Peabody parking lot with Patty Evans. With Helen Rieger, I started the parking on the side streets. There are a lot of things that we can do to raise money for Bike Week and Biketoberfest and for the other events. I'm asking you to consider as many things as we can possibly do. Thank you.
John, I like those ideas about under the pier.
Our next speaker is, I believe it's Caleb Mack, who is out in the lobby.
Who's that?
Yeah. Find and grab one and see. Well, I'm going to move on to Amaya Albury, and then if Mr. Mack, he's gone. Okay, Amaya Albury. Is there okay. That's okay. And on deck is Jenny Nazak.
Hello, everyone. Okay. So you know I'm always coming with exciting stuff, so today's no different. But I just wanted to read something to you. My name is Amaya Albury, and I am here representing as owner's representative for 501 North Grandview Avenue on the beach side. And I just wanted to begin with gratitude first, because I do believe that we are moving, I'm hoping that we are moving in a spirit of collaboration, and I am thankful for that. We have a meeting scheduled this week with the city manager and staff, and I'm grateful for that. I'm here tonight to just place a few facts on the record. So I have personally, a lay person, reviewed the case files, and I just want to record just to reflect the following timeline. So the client purchased the building and inherited some of the issues December of last year is when he bought the building. So the first citizen complaint on record regarding this property was not filed until June 1st. And that complaint was formally assigned and closed on June 12th. Also on June 12th, that very same day, a stop order was issued on my client's building. To date, they have not been, some of this stuff we're going to be discussing, so I'm not even trying, but I would like it on record because I think that's very important. So we're requesting clarity is what I will say on where we are with the work order and all that. June 1st, less than 1 month after the very first complaint was ever filed, this commission authorized an emergency injunction against my client. I want the record to reflect the speed of that action. I reviewed the full agenda packet from that meeting, and the authorization, it was never listed on the formal agenda. It has no staff report, no agenda summary, unlike every other action taken that night. It was introduced verbally for the first time near the end of the meeting. I want these dates and these facts entered into the public record today because my client really does deserve the same transparency and process that the city extends to every property owner and every investor. My client, on record since June, has demonstrated through phone calls, emails, a desire to work collaboratively with the city on the building and other projects as well. He is willing to work with the city on this as well. I want to share why I personally chose to bring him into the community. So Mr. Gao is an American citizen with deep roots in the American Chinese community. He is involved in antiques, art, and cultural preservation, and he serves as a bridge to bring real resources into communities that he invests in. I believe he's an asset to Daytona Beach because of his deep cultural connections, and I believe his presence here highlights the many different cultures that make up this country. I saw this as a great connection for our city, and I actually still do. We are choosing collaboration. We have a meeting on the calendar this week coming up, and I do just want it noted that, I'm sure the whole world is paying attention to everything that's going on, where it's a spirit of disclosure that's happening all around the world. And so people are paying attention that maybe did not pay attention before. And I think that's what's happening right now. Not just his case, but everything, if you look at everything. So, but just to fairness, I just reflect that I would like the city just to extend the same that they give to everyone else who comes to invest into our community.
Thank you, ma'am.
No problem. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Mr. Caleb, did you want to speak? Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Our final speaker. If you call the city manager's office, I believe it's 386-671-8010, and they can set up an appointment with you. Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Our final speaker tonight is Jenny Nazak.
Jenny Nazak, 501 Harvey. The wind tunnel thing sounds amazing. I think we should do whatever we can to allow it to be located around A1A and Main. Location proximity is really important for revitalization, and I think it really makes a difference to have it right in the hub there, right there. I love Commissioner May's idea about a bike ride. I think anything that gets us interacting with our place, being outdoors, is so important. It's important for our physical fitness, but also for our community with each other, and anything we can do. I have been at an ecological conference over the weekend, virtual, as all ecological conferences should be. We should not be traveling to environmental conferences. It was about the revitalization of cities by addressing the public health crises. The main cause, weather-related cause of death is heat, right? Heat is a terrible thing. And heat also feeds drought and flooding. Those are also themselves causes of death and destruction. The main public health crisis has been cited to be loneliness. Those two things are not unrelated. For example, when your streets don't have enough trees and there's not enough shade or benches, people don't want to go outside, so they stay isolated inside their houses. Or people don't want to go out on their porches. Oh, there's no porches. I mean, there's so many factors in life that are feeding into these things. They're very systemic. But I spend a lot of my time studying these things and then trying to convey the solutions in ways that are actionable. It's not that easy, but I keep doing it because it's my job that I hired myself for. And then also people in my field, a lot of us are freelance and self-funded, and there's a bit of a wave of mental health stuff among us. So we're trying to help each other bolster each other's mental health so we can continue our work. We have been demoralized by widespread flooding that we have widespread decentralized solutions to that are being implemented, but because they are grassroots, they are often under-resourced and often pushed back against. But we keep plugging away because it's our job. Related to the beach side, the things that we are referring to as weeds are very often dune plants, dune flowers, dune grasses. We need to elevate our level of knowledge about plants. I'm really not a plant person, but plants are green infrastructure, and also they are beauty. And they do absorb stormwater. Beachside is at a high elevation, and the things we do over there, the excess mowing, contributes to flooding at the lower elevations. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny.
That was our final speaker tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Daytona Beach, you all have a good night and continue to be great.